welcome back. Thanks for being here. Thank Charlie Madison, and I really appreciate you choosing to spend some more time with us today. If you're new here and you don't know who the F swear word I am, I teach magic, sleight of hand, and close-up deceptions, typically with, but not limited to, playing cards. In this video, it gives me so much pleasure to say, I am Daniel Madison, and this is the Madison Deck Review, episode 12. Charlie, what's good, man? I can see why you spend a lot of time in here, man. It's really nice in this natural daylight. Looks good on your complexion, on your skin, do you know what I mean, Charlie? These are Twisted Artistry playing cards. Before we get to these, first of all, welcome back. The Madison Deck Review. I started these maybe a few years back and I stopped pretty soon into them. I think kind of at episode 10. Brought a few more back because I was interested in certain playing cards. I certainly don't want to start making a regular thing of deck reviews. There are so many deck review channels out there, and this is one of the things that led me away from doing deck review videos. The opinions all just kind of fade into each other, and I found my videos all kind of sounding the same, looking the same, apart from the playing cards that were being used. But I do have quite a few points that I want to make, especially after there was... Hold on a second. So much better. Thanks, Charlie. I like these ones too. After the last video that I made about the close-up pads, I found that I helped a lot of people from the comment section, and I didn't really expect to be helping so many people, but it made me realize in teaching magic and teaching sleight of hand, it's important that I kind of take on board my own responsibility to advise you and help you on every step of the way, and that includes which playing cards you choose and how you choose the playing cards that you choose. And for me, playing cards it is very important which playing cards you use, and this is something I want to use this video to talk about. There's a certain group of people or certain kind of person in magic and sleight of hand who falls into this idea that, oh, it doesn't matter which playing card you use, so I'll just always use red bikes or blue bikes. It doesn't matter what card you use, it only matters how you use them. And while I agree with this to a certain extent, what we are doing is a visual art. We are presenting something that's fully visual. This is for the eyes, right? This is for the mind and the eyes. It's our responsibility to make sure that what we're demonstrating and what we're offering and what we're presenting is visually interesting and visually breathtaking, if we can, beautiful. To mention the guitar, just because it's there, a friend of mine, a guitar teacher himself, said, I can show you the chord, now it's your job to make it sound beautiful. I think the same way about playing cards, about the way we do magic, the way that we present magic. We can learn the trick. That's just part of it. A huge part of it is making it look beautiful, and that just doesn't just include the sleight of hand and our ability and our dexterous ability. It's not just about that. It doesn't stop there. It matters how we present ourselves and how we present the story, the plot, and the visual. So what they're looking at needs to be pleasing. Now we can really mess this up sometimes by choosing the wrong playing cards, or we can choose playing cards that really stand out and really leave a memory. And there's a fine line between choosing a terrible deck and choosing a good deck that works. Ideally, I can't forgive me for forgetting, but I can't remember who said this. The most perfect door in the world is one that you do not know you've walked through, right? So the idea of creative design is a bit similar with a deck of playing cards, the way that I look at somebody using playing cards. If I look at the visual image of the demonstration and I find the playing cards pleasing, you just accept it as part of the image. Whereas if I see somebody using bicycle playing cards, for example, I think it's a bit lazy, or they don't really care too much about the visuals. They only care about the attention to the sleight and nothing else. That being said, it can go the other way. We can choose some really ugly decks and that can cause a huge conflict in what we're doing. If we're using a terrible deck of playing cards, or a deck that breaches their expectations of what a deck of playing cards should look like, then we're gonna invite suspicion. If I start shuffling these playing cards, and then I present my trick and I turn these cards over, and all of a sudden they're neon green slime colors and big flashing lights and all this nonsense, big smiley faces and all this, then it kind of makes them question if this is a normal deck or not, a real deck or not. So all those points being made, let's get to these. These are Twisted Artistry playing cards. When I was looking at these, when I got these, thanks by the way, Terry Addy made these. Thanks for sending these to me, designed by our good friend Daniel Schneider. Incredible, impeccable designer. These playing cards, all over back design. These are my Madison Trawlers. The blue ones were a tribute to a typical casino style deck. When you get a deck of playing cards, there's all over print, full bleed to the edges, no borders, just like these called full bleed. When it's a design that's repeating constantly through the deck. Now, Terry has taken his logo, the TA logo, and created a beautiful design with it. A very beautiful design on a royal blue back, and it looks beautiful. And this deck looks like a deck designed for a card table, for a card game, for a casino. So when we see decks like this, that full bleed print to the edges, or at least I do, I find them synonymous with that world, with that gambling world, specifically blue. And I think that's because I'm so used to seeing those kind of decks in card games, and also the idea of designing decks like these for card games. Let's start with the B deck. The typical classical B deck was designed for casinos, and this was my tribute to that very deck, to the B deck. I did the pink one because this one was way too serious and I couldn't really have too much fun with it. I mean, you start flourishing and doing cardistry and magic with this deck, and it looks off. Something feels off about it, because we all know this as a gambling deck, as a card table deck. So when I made it pink, it kind of lent itself more to a fun world and takes it away from the table. Now, when I got these brought me straight back to the table, and they came in the post with great timing when I'm about to start sharing a lot of table work. The help that I offered with choosing a close-up mat, I'll offer some same advice through deck view videos. These are perfect for the card table stuff, the card table work that I'm going to be sharing, because the edge to edge print, the full bleed print, allows us to hide deceptions a little bit more than we can achieve with just sleight of hand. So like I said, with these playing cards, the Charlie Madison playing cards, the white playing card, because it's all negative space, when I fan them or when I ribbon spread them, they all blur together. You just see one big white image. You see all this white, it's negative space. They bleed into each other, and the same thing happens with a deck like this. You see the full bleed. Now when we're doing bottom deals, center deals, second deals, false shuffles, the discrepancies in those sleight of hand techniques all bleed into each other, and the design of these decks helps you hide the deception so perfectly, so beautifully. One of the reasons why I gravitate so much towards the decks like these, the icon deck, all white negative space, is because it lends itself to both worlds. This works perfectly on the table, but it also works perfectly in your hand. So you can use these for magic, cardistry, card table deceptions, and they all feel natural, they all feel good, they all feel fitting for this deck. Whereas a deck like this limits itself to table work, I believe. That's not a negative thing, because when I'm doing table work, I like to choose a different deck. When I'm at a table, you probably see me more with a deck like this, with the all-over deck, the pink Madison Trawlers playing cards. And now that I have these, you're going to see me using these at the table a lot more because of this design, because I can take advantage of that deception, that discrepancy being lost in the bleed. So Terry Addy, Daniel Schneider, you both brought these to life with the help of Carta Mundi Belgium Twisted Artistry playing cards. B9 finish, the best possible finish on this planet, I believe. The box feels great, the deck feels better. Now they've put a little bit more time and effort into the box, feels much thicker card. It's like a really nice matte finish. More importantly though, I don't care too much about the box. And let me tell you something, a little bit of advice to people making playing cards. If you're going into design your own playing cards, don't waste money on the box, because we take the cards out of the box and we go, later bro, I don't know you, I don't want to know you, I want to know you, I want to know what's inside you, I care about you, I don't care about your box. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, Charlie. By the way, stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to be giving this deck away. I'm going to keep this one sealed. Terry sent me 4 decks, 2 decks sealed. You've just watched me open a deck, man. for this video, I've just opened one, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna give this one to somebody watching this video. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how that deck can be yours, man. Or woman, or thing. I don't know what you call yourself. But he sent me these, and these were a little bit, I didn't get them at first. The first one says, for Daniel, treat her right. I think that's how Terry talks. No, he goes, for Daniel, treat her right. And it has a 2 of diamonds on, because that's Terry's card. And this one says, don't force it, 9C. Don't force it. So it took me a while to figure these out, but the treat her right. So this is a stripper deck. I'm not going to talk about stripper deck in this video. This is a force deck. Don't force it. 9 of clubs force deck. Again, not going to talk about that in this video. Stay tuned though, because I'm going to talk about these very specific 2 trick decks in a few videos to come. So this deck, straight out of the box, feels, that's the best deck in the world, the best feeling deck in the world. The B9 finish, Cartamundi, best deck in the world. And I'm really, really happy to see that this deck has very standard faces. Terry's changed the core cards a little bit, he's made them blue. The reds seem a bit dark. We got Schneider on the King of Diamonds. We got Terry on the King of Spades. Terry's put an extra King of Spades in there, duplicate King of Spades. I'm talking fast because I don't want to waste any time. I'm sorry, like I'm so used to watching deck review videos and thinking, okay, hurry up, you know, I don't want to be the deck review guy, you know what I mean? These are really useful. So these are all the poker hands listed on playing cards. These are for a trick. These are for a very specific trick that I'm not going to talk about in this video. There's some cool jokers in here with reveals, Terry's hands with the reveals. This is kind of a nod back to images from Erdnase, which is a really nice touch. The blue works perfectly in my opinion. So Terry's added a duplicate. This is something to really look out for magicians, for card cheats, for anybody who practices deception or the performance of deception when you're buying playing cards. If you have 2 of the same card in a deck, a secret duplicate, you have a million miracles right in your hand just by having a duplicate. We'll talk about it. Stay tuned, we'll talk about it on this channel. The deck comes in brand new deck order. Obviously, I don't like it when people print in stack, because don't assume that I care about the stack. Do you know what I mean? And if you get your spectator or your participant or your audience to open the deck and it's already shuffled, it screams insecurity. It screams, I'm a trick deck, be careful with me. So the Ace of Spades is really nice as well, because it bleeds through the design of the back of the deck and it gives this nice optical illusion that the card is actually hovering above. Whoa, that's trippy, Charlie. That's pretty cool. Twisted Artistry. And not much else has changed about the deck. I can tell you that this deck is perfect for card table deceptions. It looks like a deck that you would see at a card table. It feels like one. Nothing too suspicious. Terry and Daniel Schneider, well done so much. That's all I want to say on the deck review side of this. So the tiny nuggets of gold that you can take away from this video. Decks with all overback design and full bleeds, use them for card table deceptions. Try not to use them too much for flourishing or magic. I like the idea that when we progress, when we move forward in the magic industry as a community, that we do keep associating full bleed decks and blue decks, even deep blue decks, to card table work. I like that kind of protection of the nostalgia of it. I think that's a good word for it that I'm picking up, and maybe it's just me. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I love the feeling that this is a casino deck, whereas I couldn't really do that with a deck that's designed for magic. Is that your phone, Charlie, or mine? For example, the black Charlies, and I'm talking about the color of the back of the deck. Like, these are the black Charlie Madison playing cards. These are designed mainly for magic, for performance in magic, and not really card table work. Doesn't mean you can't do them at can't use these at the card table. I'm not saying that, but my association, my approach to making that image beautiful as possible for the audience, for the participant, for the spectator. This is a deck that I designed with the intention that this is something for a standard performance. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if it makes a difference to you. Tell me if you care. I can't stand seeing bicycle playing cards because I think it's lazy. I don't think I talk too much, Charlie. Although, yeah, you're right. We should move on. That's all I'm going to say about the Terry Addy Twisted Artistry playing cards. You're going to see me using these a lot, and we're going to talk about these 2 trick decks very soon in some upcoming videos. Where's my box gone? Oh yeah, I got rid of it, didn't I? Don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to give this deck to somebody watching this video right now. Let's go back to the studio and I'll tell you how you can get your hands on these. If you want your playing cards, if you have some playing cards that you're making, that you're selling, you're putting on the market, that you want some exposure, if you want them to feature on my channel, send me at least 2 decks. One that I can show on the channel, one that I can give away, just like this one. There's an address in this video description. Electric Picture House Tattoo Studio, my tattoo studio. Send me 2 decks, I'll do the rest. One lucky viewer right now is gonna win this deck and this deck. I'm gonna take the cellophane off and sign the box. These are white Charlie Madison playing cards, along with the first edition Blue Twisted Artistry playing cards. All you gotta do, get in the comment section, ask me a very interesting question. In the next video that I make, I'm gonna be responding to the comments on this video. Ask me whatever you want. Ask me an interesting question, the one that makes me smile, the one that makes me laugh, the one that stands out to me the most. I'm gonna pick that person as the winner, and I'm gonna send you these 2 decks of playing cards. I'll be back very soon with those answers and some more dope tutorials. All I ask in return, make sure you subscribe so you get my notification bell going ding 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 every time I drop a new video. These are Twisted Artistry playing cards by Terry, Addy, Daniel Schneider. That's Charlie Madison. I'm Daniel Madison. Thanks for your time. See you next time.